So, hey there, YouTube land. And tonight, this is kind of a response video. I just finished watching an incredible video by Nready. If you're not subscribed to Nready, seriously suggest you do. I'm going to put the link down in the description box down below because he did this really cool video and it's a really good idea. Basically, a lot of us here are all Scream Factory fans, Arrow fans, stuff like that. So he did a video where he basically said, here's some movies that kind of like his Scream Factory want list, movies that he would love to see on Scream Factory, that get the Scream Factory edition. And I thought, damn, that's a good idea for a video. So I decided, yep, I'm going to make one of that. And I would love to see anybody on here, TJ, Falagar, all my horror fans on here that do stuff like this. Make a video. Let me know what you would like to see Scream Factory do. And maybe if we make enough of these videos, maybe, who knows, maybe somebody from Scream Factory, maybe Cliff or somebody will actually see it and say, maybe I didn't think of that one, but nice idea. So I tried to keep away from a lot of the bigger label stuff, like the Blue Undergrounds and Anchor Bays and stuff like that, though a couple did slip in. Without further ado, let's start out with the movies that I think would make great additions to the Scream Factory label, and I'll let you know why when I go through. First up is a small English film that I'm sure a lot of you guys here have seen, and I think it's a pretty brutal film and would make a great addition to the Scream Factory collection. It's a movie called Eden Lake. If you haven't seen this movie, I strongly and severely suggest you check this out. It may piss you off at the end, but it'll piss you off for a good reason because it's really well made. This is a Michael Fassbender, kind of an earlier role that he did, and obviously you can see that mine here has a French case because I actually couldn't find this room in my area, so I ended up buying this in Morocco. That's why it's got this cool little slip cover on it, which I gotta say I severely adore. Anyway, great film, brutal, realistic, just awesome film about this girl and her husband that go out for this like one last little trip and it goes horribly wrong. Would love to see Scream Factory do this. Love to see some great commentary, some great features, some interviews and stuff. They poured over all the stuff from here, put some new stuff on it. Eden Lake, definitely. Next up is one that probably me and about like half a dozen other people will want, but I really dug this slasher movie by Jamie Blanks. And Valentine. Love to see Scream Factory do an addition to this. This had a cast that actually, some of them went on to actually do some pretty cool stuff. And some of them had already done stuff, but people didn't know what to expect, I think, going into this. They expect to see a kind of a Scream type of movie. And what they got back was a throwback to the old school 80s slasher films. A really good throwback and some really decent kills with a very creepy looking killer. So love to see this, and I would love to see the artwork that they make for this as well. Be some interesting stuff for that. And this one here actually only has a commentary and a few interviews and a video, so love to see the Scream Factory edition with a bunch more stuff. Cool collector's edition. Next up is one of the few Anchor Bay ones that did make it onto my list, but this one's just too cool. I would love to see Scream Factory get these. And it's kind of a cheat because it's actually two movies, but I would love to see Scream Factory, both of them, not on one disc or not on a double feature set, but actually as two separate releases, kind of like Psycho 2 and Psycho 3. And that is Silent Night, Deadly Night, and Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2. Hell, I'd love to see them do a Silent Night, Deadly Night box set, but I don't see that happening. But since the floodgates are open and they have done work with Anchor Bay with the Halloween set, which, by the way, I pre-ordered to make sure that sets like that keep coming out, because the only way you're going to keep seeing amazing horror sets like that come out if you buy amazing horror sets like that. And it's worth it. If you can afford it, it's worth it. But, you know, not everybody can understand that, but if you can, Halloween set, amazing. I want this. Silent Night, Dead Night, and at least Part 2. Come on. And they can actually call it the Garbage Day edition. I'll be down with that. That'll be cool. Get Dude Designs or something like that, do a cover for this. Or the guy from Ginger Snaps, he did some awesome cover. Just really incredible. You know what? I actually like these movies. Well, the first one, especially, the first one, actually, it's a decent movie. The second one is horribly active. But the first one's a pretty brutal film, and I gotta say, it does stand up. I do still like this film as much as I did when I first originally saw it. Linnea Quigley has an early role in the first one, and it's probably one of my favorites. If slashers around Christmas time, second only to the classic Bob Clark film Black Christmas, which I'm going to call it now as a movie that is my dream movie to see on Screen Factory. I don't have my edition out right now. I'm not going to go and grab that one. It's just over there. But Black Christmas, the original one, 1974, Bob Clark, fantastic film. I will love to see a huge collector's edition of that one on Screen Factory with a beautiful cover, reverse artwork, amazing features. That's such a great movie, and it's so underrated, and it belongs with all the other classic slashers that they put on their Screen Factory label. Next up is one that I really love, and it's really a bad movie, but it would be awesome on the Scream Factory label because hey, they already got the first one out, and Halloween 2, Your Sister's a Werewolf. Who can't want this one? Come on, it is so cheesy and fun. Sybil Danning, man, that scene with Sybil Danning that gets repeated ad nauseum at the end. Gotta want this one. I mean, look at her. Sybil Danning was, had her physical peak right here. She was beautiful. The other movie that I wouldn't mind seeing them put out on Screen Factory, they could even put on double feature. I wouldn't care on a Blu-ray because it's just a different film. It's kind of a slasher, erotic thriller, but not really. Kind of a movie that Sybil Danning did called They're Playing with Fire. I'm not sure if many people here have seen it, but if you have, you probably remember it. Mostly for Sybil Danning and the fact that it was actually a bit of a murder mystery, but mostly for Sybil Danning, and it's worth checking out. I'm a big anthology fan, and I can watch anything anthology-wise. And this one here, I'm surprised actually that this one hasn't come out because one, it's on the MGM label. Two, it has a few cast members that actually did stuff, so that will be a way to kind of like market it. And it's got a nice title. After Midnight. Is it the greatest acting? No, but is it a fun slasher movie? Actually, yeah. Slasher. Is it a fun anthology movie? It's a very fun anthology movie. Just some really cool stuff. Definitely worth checking out. Not exactly anything that's going to reinvent the wheel or anything, but it's just a fun little watch. And I think this will make a great addition to the Scream Factory collection. I would love to see what they could do with the artwork for this here, especially considering it's an anthology film. Put this one right next to Body Bags in your collection. Next up, since I already took one of my choices, which was Dr. Giggles, I decided I'd go pull another one from that set that I think really deserves the Scream Factory edition. And Deadly Blessing is actually one of my favorite early Scream Factory releases. They did a great job with that. The movie was way underrated. I gotta say, I was a big fan, and this was kind of a movie, unrated like this one here. It's a nice uncut edition with some nice features. Would not want to see Deadly Friend on Blu-ray. Come on, as cheesy as this is, Christy Swanson, I mean, like, just great stuff. The basketball kill, the freaky, cheesy, kind of creepy ending, the robot. Gotta love this film. Next up is, well, it was hard to choose which one, so I'm going to be cheating to say all three. Well, then again, this is my video, so I can cheat and say all three. This was put out by Shriek Show. Delirium, cool movie with Serena Grande, a amply endowed, very gorgeous Italian actress. This is actually a pretty cool film. It's a very different thing to it, where you see the killers, the look of it through the killer's eyes. My son wasn't a big fan of it, but we watched an actually really good film before it. Next up is House on the Edge of the Park. Of course, this has the amazing, incredible work by good old Dave Hess in here. Unfortunate playing that kind of sleazeball role that he was so famous for playing, especially after Last House. House on the Edge of the Park, I really did enjoy. I thought it was cool with a nice little twist at the end. There was good characterization for this type of film, and some pretty brutal scenes. So it would definitely be for the younger crowd. It was done by Ruggero Deodato, and you know, this is actually a Ruggero Deodato film I can watch. Unlike Cannibal Holocaust, it's overrated. Yeah, I'm gonna say it. Cannibal Holocaust is severely overrated. Uh, Beyond the Darkness, another great one. Otherwise known, I think, as the Blue Omega or something. Blue Omega, something like that. Just a very cool, very different film. Actually done by Joe D'Amato, who did a lot of soft core stuff and did some hardcore stuff as well. I'm pretty sure he did. Actually, I think that one of the bonus like Easter eggs on here is you actually can open up this kind of like a slideshow, a gallery of covers of some of his hardcore films. Worth checking out. If seriously, if you ever see the set in the store, pick it up. It's called Psycho Killer from Freak Show. I'd love to see all three of these movies get the Scream Factory edition, and I would buy them on day one. Next up is another anthology film, one that is dear and near to my heart, and that is Amusement. Along with Trick or Treat, this is one of the more effective modern day anthology films. See that clown? Yeah, that's a really freaking scary episode in this here thing. And you know what? This isn't an anthology film that just slightly links the stories together. There's actually a really good linking mechanism with this that makes the wraparound for once just as interesting as some of the movies that are in that you know, the stories that are throughout it. So an anthology film that actually has a decent wraparound. That's a story. That's actually kind of a story. Yeah, it's true. It's real, and it's called Amusement. Since he did Vampire Lovers, I thought, you know, another vampire Hammer film would be kind of cool. And I did want to go with a lot of the obvious stuff. You know, I could have said Scars. I could have said like any of the other direct ones. But although Brides would be my ideal, absolute amazing choice, I don't have Brides in my collection, so I couldn't pop it in and show it to you. But I do have Dracula AD 72. Man, I love this cover. Would this not look cool in this, as a Scream Factory Blu-ray? Yep, and who do we have in this movie? We have the gorgeous, gorgeous Stephanie Beacham. Man, I love Stephanie Beacham. This is kind of like the second last of the Dracula films. There's one more after this, and this is kind of the last of the, no, it's the first of the newer wave stuff, but it's actually not that bad. I had a lot of fun with this. Just an incredibly fun movie, and basically it's groovy. Next up is one that Arrow Video put out, but they put it out in the Aerodrome edition, which really kind of bummed me out. I would love to see this get a proper release, like a really good Blu-ray release with some great features, because I'm sure Andrew Niederman could talk about it, and I'm sure you can get like David Hewlett or Sidney Preston to talk about the movie, or even Terry Quinn. See, I'm trying to make you guess what the movie is. And I'm sure a lot of you guys that are fans already know the movie Pin. Just a really cool Canadian psychological thriller. Very neat. Very cool. And there's Pin right there. You just have to see it. Fun fact, Andrew Niederman will later become V.C. Andrews. After she passed on, they needed somebody to ghostwrite her books, and he did it. Next up is one that's actually the first one, and I want to see an uncut edition of this one. I thought this movie was really fun. I mean, it was pretty obvious who the killer was and all that, but that was a fun movie nonetheless. And that is Cherry Falls. Cherry Falls is one that I found really, really fun. Should have done more than it did. Got lost in the shuffle and came out with like a cut version. And this was a movie that was going to be like a big slasher film, and then all of a sudden it's like you're seeing it on TV and you're wondering what the hell went on. And you know, I got to look back and remember. I don't remember right now what the deal was, but Cherry Falls was actually going to be this big film, and then I ended up finding it years later on this. And I got to say, I'm a big fan of that film. I just would love to have it in an uncut Blu-ray edition. Double feature time. Curse and Curse 2. Curse 2 especially is really cheesy as fun. Just a great film. Both of these were just fun films that kind of did their thing, and love to see these. It's another MGM one, of course. So why is it not with my MGM collection? I have to rectify that right now, actually, after this video's over. Cannot wait to rewatch this again. I would love to see Scream Factory do a Blu-ray edition of this. Wouldn't that be awesome? Come on, guys. Curse and Curse 2. I know Curse 2 is a pretty cheesy film, but isn't that fun? It's extremely fun. And one more for, because I was thinking about, you know, I want to get a one of those like Leviathan, Lake Placid type movies in there. And what's better than the ultra cheesy, ultra fun film, Piranha 2? A favorite of my better halves, a very cheesy film. Early James Cameron work, which he walked out on, but come on. The Grunion Run, the spawning, flying piranhas, gotta love it. It'll be a great addition. It'll look great next to your Lake Placid and your totally blank there for a second, and your Leviathan. You know what? If you like any of these here ideas, feel free to steal them and take them over to Blu-ray.com, where there's a Scream Factory forum, like where people like mention ideas to Cliff and the guys. You never know. Who knows? Maybe one of these movies here might actually be a future Scream Factory release, or maybe they've already beat me to the punch and already thought of making this future Scream Factory release. Thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to check out InReady's channel and check out the fantastic video. I would love to hear everybody else's responses to this. Well, I love Scream Factory, and I got a feeling you guys can think up some really cool, neat ideas for Scream Factory to put out there. So my cat is going crazy meow. She does about this time of night now. And I don't understand why yet. But it annoys the hell out of me. It's cute though. So I'm off, and I'll talk to you guys later, because right now it is time for tea. My cat's at the scratching post.